Hello, welcome back to our class. Our topic for today is all about the external anatomy of farm animals and their body measurements. Okay, so before anything else, let us first discuss the difference between anatomy and physiology. Okay, the anatomy is a field in the biological sciences that concerns with the identification and description of the body structures of living things, while physiology is the branch of biology relating to the function of organs and organ system and how they work within the body to respond to challenges. In short, anatomy is the study of structure while physiology is the study of the function of these structures. Okay, that is the main difference. Okay. So, what is the importance of understanding the external anatomy of animals? So, first, of course, to assess the health of the animal. Why? Because animals can't talk. Hindi nila masasabi sa atin kung ano ang nararamdaman nila or kung masama ba ang kanilang pakiramdam. Okay? Pero kung alam natin or familiar tayo sa kanilang external anatomy, malalaman natin kung yung look ba nila or yung itsura nila ay normal o hindi. For example, this chicken. Okay? Malalaman mo na parang meron siyang sakit. Diba? Sa unang tingin, why? Because yung kanyang mata. Okay? Mapapansin mo yung kanyang eye ring ay yellowish and yung kanyang eyes ay hindi bright. Okay? So, base sa observation natin, ma-assess natin yung kanyang health. Next is, it is an aid in judging animals based on their breed characteristic. Kung familiar ka sa kanilang external anatomy, ma-identify mo din kung ano ang kanilang breed. Okay. For example, in swine. Okay. The left one is the large white and the right one is the large race. So, paano mo malalaman? Pares naman silang puti. Pares din sila ng katawan. So, pinakamadaling distinguishing characteristic nila is yung ears. Tignan nyo. Yung ears ng large white ay erect, while yung ears naman ng landrace ay droopy. Okay? So, kung alam mo yon, malalaman mo kung alin ang large white at kung alin ang landrace. Okay? Next, of course, is to determine the purpose of the animals. We can determine their purpose, for example, in cattle. Okay? If the shape of its body is angular, it is dairy cattle, but if it is rectangular, it is intended for beef production. Okay? So, yung A, makikita nyo yung angularity niya. So, masasabi mo na siya ay dairy type. While yung kabila naman, rectangular yung shape ng body niya. Ibig sabihin, yung muscle ay pronounced sa kanyang buong katawan, siya ay for beef production. Okay? Next, of course, is to assess the productivity of the animal for culling and selection. Malalaman mo kung aling animal ang productive at kung aling animal ang hindi. For example, sa chicken. This is a layer chicken. Ang pinaka-basic characteristic paano mo malalaman kung siya ay productive or hindi ay sa kanyang wattles and comb. Ang wattles and comb ng productive na animal ay red and strong. Okay, so yan dito sa left, red and makikita mo strong yung kanyang wattles and comb, while dito naman sa kabila, dito naman sa right ay medyo pale na yung kanyang comb. Pwede mo siyang pagbasihan kung ikakal mo siya or isi-select. Okay? Okay, so let's start with the external anatomy of the poultry. Okay? Poultry is a collective term for all domestic birds rendering or providing the economic benefits to man. The chicken will reach its sexual maturity in 18 weeks old. Meaning, at 18 weeks, pwede na siyang mag-start mag-produce na egg. And 21 days naman bago mag-hatch yung kanyang egg. Okay. So, first part is the beak. The beak will serve as the mouth of the chicken. It is also used for fighting and protection. It is also function as the teeth of the chicken since they don't have a teeth. Okay? So, never kayong kakagatin ng chicken kasi wala siyang ngipin. Tutukain lang niya kayo kasi ang meron sa kanya ay beak. Okay. Combs and wattles. Yan naman yung kanyang comb and wattle. Combs and wattles serves as a cooling system of the chicken since they don't have sweat glands. Earlobes. Ayan, for, of course, hearing function. The eyes. The eyes of the eyeball of the chicken is stationary. Thus, the chicken move its head to vary the range of the vision. Ibig sabihin, para makita niya yung left and right niya, kailangan ilingon niya yung buong ulo niya kasi yung eyes niya is stationary. Okay? Feathers. The feathers provides insulation and buffer extremes of heat and cold condition. While next is wings. Chicken cannot fly very well, but they can flap their wings sufficiently to raise them about 3 meters off the ground. Okay. Next, a tail and tail feathers used for balancing. Next, I feet and nails used for protection and also for finding food. Okay. So, next is the difference between male and female chicken. Paano ba natin malalaman kung yung chicken ay babae at yung chicken ay lalaki? Okay. First is the size. The male grow taller and usually weighs between 0.5 kg and 1 kg, 0.5 to 1 kg more than females of the same age upon reaching sexual maturity. Okay. However, at 1 day old, there is no difference at all between male and female chicken in terms of size. Okay? So, at sexual maturity, yung male chicken ay mas mabigat ng nasa half to 1 kilo. Pero at birth or at day 1, upon hatching, same lang sila ng size kaya wala kang makikitang difference. Okay. Next, combs and spur. Okay. The comb and wattles of male will become much larger than the comb and wattles of the female. While the spur is, what is spur pala? A chicken spur is actually the part of the shank bone that is covered with hard layer made of keratin. Okay. Spurs are routinely found on rooster and they are used for protection and fighting. Female chicken hardly develops spur at all when compared to male. So, makikita nyo, dito sa picture ito ay male, pronounce yung kanyang spur for protection. Next is vocal expression. Everyone knows that rooster crows while hen doesn't. Okay. Next are feathers. The most distinguishing feather are the tail feather, which are long and stringy on male. Hackle and neck feathers on males have pointed ends, while females have round ends. So, makikita nyo dito sa picture. Okay. Next is the swine. Swine attain its sexual maturity at 8 months and its gestation period lasts for 114 days or plus minus 4 days or 3 months, 3 weeks, and 3 days. So, napakadaling tandaan, di ba? 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days ang pregnancy period ng swine. Lactation period naman nila ay 1 month. Okay. So, for the external anatomy, first is the neck. Because the neck is the proper location to give most injection to pigs. Kaya ang i-specify na lang natin dito ay yung mga more important parts of the swine. Next is the ears. The ears are used predominantly for identification purposes through the use of ear notching. So, mapapansin niyo yung ears ng... Okay, so usually mapapansin niyo yung ears ng swine, merong mga gupit-gupit na ganyan, mga cuts parang triangles. Yan ay for their identification called ear notching. Okay. Next is the eyes. The eyes The pig usually sees only in the shades of black and white. Okay. Next is the jowl. The jowl, yan pala. The jowl is located underneath the snout and is sometimes referable to as pig's chin. Remember, the trimmer and the cleaner the jowl, the pig is more desirable. Okay, next is the snout. The snout serves as the nose of a pig. The snout is used by the pig to move, turn, and lift objects as well as to assist them in eating and smelling. Next is the belly. The belly is the location where the bacon comes from. Both the belly and the ribs plays an important role in the gilts during pregnancy because gilt must have an ample capacity in order to carry large litters or large piglets, a large number of piglets. Next is the ham, of course. The bigger and the fuller the ham usually means the pig will track wider when viewed from behind. Okay, so yun yung more important parts of the swine. Next is the cattle. The cattle attains its sexual maturity at 10 to 15 months. Of course, it depends on its weight. Its gestation period lasts for 9 to 10 months and the lactation period for 10 months. Okay. First is the horns. The horns are usually undesirable because most animals can cause harm to themselves and also to each other, especially when the animals are being handled. Okay? So usually, especially in dairy cattle, mas desired nila yung polled. Ibig sabihin walang horn. Okay? Kaya meron tayong tinatawag na dehorning or pagtatanggal ng horn and disbudding. Yung disbudding naman, yun yung pag-prevent ng pagtubo ng horn. Okay? Next is the nose or the muzzle. Okay? The edge of the nose must be darkly pigmented to protect the animal from sunburn, and the nostrils must be large for good breathing. The nose of a healthy cow is always damp. Next is the udder. When selecting a cow, the shape of the udder must carefully be judged. Okay, so they have 4 udders with 1 teeth each udder. Okay, teeth yung tawag sa nipples ng cow. Okay, next is the belly. The belly also must be long and deep, and the ribs must be well sprung to ensure the space for good digestion, because the more a cow can eat, the better the production. Okay? So, syempre, gusto natin na yung ating cow ay malakas kumain para malakas din ang production niya. Okay? It's in terms of milk production or beef production. Next is the goat. At the age of 4 to 8 months, marireach na niya yung sexual maturity or puberty, and the pregnancy lasts for 5 months, lactation period 3 to 4 months. Okay, so the cattle and the goat almost have the same anatomical term. Okay, so the only difference is that their udders, the goat's udder is only 2, have 2 udders. The goat have 2 udders while the cow has 4. Okay, and also the bridge of their nose are very matangos. Okay, so next is the estimation of the animal's body weight. So bakit pa kailangan natin i-estimate pa yung kanyang animal's body weight? First is because kapag wala tayong access sa scale, there are less accurate methods of estimating weight, such as using a tape measure or using 2-body measurement, that is the body length and the heart girth. And then i-apply natin yung formula ng estimated weight. Remember that when measuring your animal, you need to determine the heart girth and the body length in inches. Okay, I repeat, in inches. The heart girth is the pig's circumference just behind the elbow, and the body length should be the distance from the top of the head between the ears to the tail head. Okay, so yung point A to point B, yun yung kanyang body length, while yung C naman, yun yung kanyang heart girth. So, sa pagkuha nitong heart girth, kailangan lang para kang kumukuha ng size ng iyong bewang. Okay? Okay, so that's all for the for our lab activity number 2. So, I hope you learned something kahit yung mga gestation period lang and yung some of their body parts. Okay, and especially of course the difference between anatomy and physiology. That is very basic and usually yung mga students doon nagkakamali. Okay, so that's all. I will be posting your assessment task number 2, and I hope to see you soon. Okay, so bye.